Eight, seven, six, five, four, three, two, one, go.
Yo, what's good? What's good? Welcome back to the Cool Reviews. And yo, we back with the Wednesday night show where we talk politics, we talk race, we talk relationships. We give it to you all. We give it all to you just how you like it. And we're gonna mix in a little sports today because we got to talk about Earl Spence. So, man, we got Jason the barber on. Man, what's good? What's going good with you?
What's going on? It's your boy Jason from jasonlwest.com. Y'all come on, get in here.
Egg, yeah, man. So what man, while we sending we gonna send the link out, but while we sending the link out, letting people know we on live, man. What you think about that Earl Spence fight, man?
Well, he did what he could do, Obviously, his legs, he was a little wobbly all over the place the whole fight. I guess that's just the condition he in right now, and that might be going forward. Tim Tszyu he was a bigger guy, but because you got to think, Earl's last fight was 3 years ago, and not only was it 3 years ago, it was two weight classes down.
Okay.
So you come back after 3 year layoff, and you go up two weight classes, and you fight a champion. That was crazy work right there on his part.
Yeah, man. He for sure didn't look sharp at all, man. It's
Yeah, well, he said he gonna retire, so that's all good.
yeah. I'm glad, man. And the way things are now, it's like you can do a lot of them cats are doing celebrity lives.
Or
I
what?
mean celebrity fights, boxing matches.
Yeah, I just invited Dion Hughley to one of those on Facebook today. I told
Man,
him let's do a celebrity boxing match. I want to touch him up a little bit.
shoot, man. Hey, DL Hughley, man. Yeah, I ain't a fan of that dude, man. That dude, man, he just
I used to like him as a comedian, but he out of control, man. That dude been out of control for a minute.
yeah, man. He yeah, I don't know. I think, but I don't know who the biggest Democrat, him or damn Ricky Smiley.
I mentioned Ricky Smiley in that same video today.
Yeah, hell yeah. Shoot, man, but then, man, you got LeBron going over to the 76ers, man. What you think about that?
Uh, I don't really watch basketball like that. It's been some years since I even chimed in on basketball, bro. Only
Okay.
sport I really watch right now is boxing.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh, that's about it, man. Sure. Current events, man. We're gonna get into some other stuff. They still got stuff coming out about the Nolan Wells stuff.
Oh yeah.
Um, so they got more
Shoot.
information coming out about that. It's
Bruh,
crazy because the mom acting like she didn't know these boys and all this. These boys like, man, I've been this woman. Uh, you know, I ain't never spent the night over there, but I've been to the house several. I've been to the house several times, pick her son up, and, around the school. They said I left my car over there, went out of town for 2 3 days. Car still there, her driveway. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And that's what the black kid was saying. And it's just like, and then she said nobody reached out to her, and none of the parents are talking and all that, right? Then when
yeah.
Brandon Tatum went down there to come find out, they showing text messages where the lady reached out. So she gonna come back after all that came out and say, Oh well, yeah. 2 or 3 of them did reach out. I misspoke. How is that a misspeak, man? Come on, bro.
Man,
They're
yeah,
doing
they
too much, bro.
shoot,
That
yeah,
race
they doing.
grifting stuff, bro. That race grifting, bro.
It's gonna be, man, that Nolan Wells thing, man. It's gonna be crazy, and yeah, I'm gonna try to stay on top of that for sure. But shoot, I guess we can get into it, man. I know we had this one video up we wanted to talk about, so shoot, we can just jump right into it.
I'm just sending out messages.
Okay, I'm gonna let the video play while you doing that,
All
and
right.
shoot, we can get it cracking.
Our president is trifling. We all know that. This is the latest. When you're calling LeBron James a racist, you know what? It's really getting ridiculous. The divisiveness, the way that this man acts, the things that he says, is really, really disgusting. And it needs to be said. I held it in long enough. I was waiting a few days, but then obviously being back to work today and listening to this nonsense, it's just really, really disgusting. Welcome to the latest edition of Straight Shooter with yours truly, Stephen A. Coming at you as I love to do at least a couple of times a week over the airways of YouTube, outside of doing my political show on SiriusXM POTUS Radio Channel 124 every Wednesday night from 6 to 8 p.m. This kind of stuff is necessary to address, though. Because at some point in time, we got to call stuff out. We got to call it out for what we see. We got to call it out for what it is. Because the only way that the world is going to become a better place is when we call out trifling tendencies, even if it's from our president, even if it's from our commander-in-chief. And this is the latest salvo that he's thrown in somebody's direction, ultimately to distract from the shit that he's doing. And we got to call him out on it. We just have to. If you're going to make the world a better place, if you're going to contribute to this country going back in a forward direction, that's what you got to do. And Democrats don't sit up there saying, yeah, way to go, Stephen A., way to go. I ain't done with your ass yet either. I'll get to you in a second. But for right now, let me talk about Trump in this regard. What am I talking about? Why am I so disgusted? Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James, for some of you non-basketball fans that were living under a rock and don't know any better, LeBron James decided to become a Philadelphia 76er this Friday. As a result of him becoming the Philadelphia 76ers with the other pieces that they have in place, they have ascended from being a team that was swept in the second round by the New York Knicks, the reigning defending NBA champion New York Knicks, to being arguably a favorite to win the NBA championship. And the LeBron James that I'm talking about, who is universally recognized as one of the greatest basketball players to have ever lived. The LeBron James that I'm talking about, who has this I Promise school for at-risk kids. The LeBron James that I'm talking about, who, by the way, I don't have the greatest relationship with at all. So nobody's here trying to support him because I'm anxious to support him. But when, damn it, you're right, you're right. LeBron James takes his talent to South Beach, or rather to Broad Street in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And Trump is asked about it. Our president is asked about it. And listen to the exchange from a reporter asking him the question to an answer from the President of the United States, and pay attention to the reasons why he gave the answer that he gave. Listen up.
Today it was announced LeBron James has decided that he wants his next team to be the 76ers. Where do you stand on LeBron versus Michael Jordan as the best ever?
Well, Michael Jordan's a guy that's a friend of mine. Play golf with him. He's a really good guy. And I think LeBron is, maybe he's a racist, but maybe he doesn't like Trump. I don't know. I only like people that like me. So I would say Michael Jordan all the way.
Bet you can't run as fast as T-Mobile.
Bet you I can.
Well, you better pick it up, because T-Mobile now has the fastest 5G
So Michael Jordan likes Trump.
They say
What are you saying?
he play golf with him.
Internet just $35 a month.
Hey, I'm
Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
ain't surprised.
I believe Michael Jordan is the greatest that has ever lived.
I ain't
He's a
surprised.
six-time champion,
No.
six-time NBA Finals MVP, a five-time league MVP, a 10-time scoring champion, a 9-time All-NBA defensive player, and the greatest closer in the history of the sport. That's why I believe LeBron James will never be the GOAT. It's going to always be Michael Jordan.
Oh.
Trump, on the other hand, believes Jordan's the greatest because Michael Jordan's a good friend. That's his litmus test. That's his gauge. That's his barrier. That's his criteria. This is what he says. This is how he comes across in it. And this is his mentality. This is his attitude. And in the end, what is he talking about? Oh, he likes me. He likes me. He likes me. He sounds like the little kid on the commercials, Mikey, from years ago. Mikey, he likes it. He likes it. He'll eat anything. That's how Trump sounds. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. You're the commander-in-chief. You're the president of the United States. And you're going to come out and you're going to call this black man, who's universally recognized one of the greatest athletes to have ever lived, who has been an upstanding citizen, somebody I don't get along with. And I'm still willing to concede he's great. He's a great athlete. He's a great person. He's a great model. We just don't get along. But to sit up there and to call him a racist, maybe he's a racist, would that be because LeBron James endorsed Hillary Rodham Clinton in 2016 and then endorsed Biden in 2020 and then endorsed Kamala Harris in 2024? Could be. Last time I checked, the only Democratic candidate LeBron James ever really stood up for was Barack Obama. Everything since then has basically been anti-Trump over the last 3 elections. That's all it is. It ain't even an indictment against conservatism or conservatives. It's an indictment against that man because of the way he acts, the way he behaves, the way he serves to polarize instead of galvanize. And the question is going to be, when is everybody going to step up and call it for what it is? Because the Republican Party that I remembered was once about standards. The conservatives that I remembered were once about standards and decorum and the way that you act and conduct and comport yourself. But suddenly that goes out the window because everybody's deifying this man. This is the problem. I'm not even getting into policy. I'm getting into his behavior. That's what I've been saying for years. The way in which he conducts and comports himself is unpresidential. And nobody seems to care. And I don't blame people for going to the polls and saying, listen, I can't make my decisions on who to vote for based on how he comports himself. I got to look at policy. My boy Jeff is very, very big on that. Policy. Yeah, he can be an asshole. Yeah, he don't know how to act. Yeah, he can polarize instead of galvanizing. Yes, he comes across as classless. So what? If the economy is soaring, if immigration has been addressed, if safety in the streets is a priority, if inflation is eradicated, if a recession is avoided, that's what I'm going for. That's my man Jeff. That's most people I know. I get it. But that doesn't mean that you can't call him out when his behavior is trifling. What has LeBron James done to be called a racist?
Facts.
Other than not like this man. This is Trump and LeBron in 2018. First, we'll go to LeBron. This was LeBron James talking to Don Lemon, who was then at CNN at the time, about Donald Trump. Listen, this is in promoting his I Promise school.
You know, we are in a position right now in America, more importantly, where this race thing is taking over. You know, and because I believe our president is kind of trying to divide us. But I think
kind of.
Yeah, is. Not, I don't want to say kind of. He's dividing us, and what I noticed over the last few months, that he's kind of used sport to kind of divide us.
You think it's harder to be, when you see these incidents of just about people living, just being black, and what happened to you, your house, all of that, do you think it's harder now, or do you think it's always been there, we're just seeing it because of cell phones and...
No, I think it's always been there. But I think the president in charge now has given people, they don't care now. They throw it in your face now.
Yeah. One more question. What would you say to the president if he's sitting right here?
I would never sit across from him.
You would never? You don't want to talk to him?
No. I sit across from Barack, though.
Now, me personally, that's where I'm different. Because I'd sit across from President Trump in a heartbeat, just to grill him about what he's doing with this country. Why hasn't the war with Ukraine and Russia been resolved yet? Why did we ever get involved with the war in Iran?
Man.
Is it really about nuclear weapons? Did you take into account the Strait of Hormuz and the impact that it would have?
Yeah.
I ain't know where to start, man. Man. I definitely don't agree with Stephen A. on this. Now, I'll tell you why. And I mean, LeBron can have his preference not to ever sit across from Trump. That's fine, no problem. Do you remember when? Do you remember when Ice Cube was going to sit down with Trump?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Contract for Black America. Yep.
Everybody was trying to come for Ice Cube. Remember?
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So just because you may not agree with somebody or something, it's the president of the United States. They don't. So why come you still can't sit across from him? You see what I'm saying? Because this is what this tells me is LeBron is bought. He either racist like Trump said, or he has bought into all this narrative that's been spilled out by these radical liberals. Okay, now he said I sit across from Barack though. Why he didn't say I sit across from Biden though? I sit across from what I'm doing right here. I'm doing what black folks would have done had the shoe been under the foot. Had there been a white basketball player and the black president, then this is what the black people would have been accusing LeBron James of being racist. Yep. Had LeBron James been white, and this would have been Barack Obama. You get where I'm going with this?
Nah, I know. Yeah, you absolutely right.
They'd have been accusing him of being racist. That would have been unacceptable for that basketball player to sit there and say that if he was a white star basketball player, and he said that about Barack, they'd automatically assume that he was doing it because he's racist. See what I'm saying? Now, as far as Stephen A. talking about how this was trifling of Trump, wasn't nothing trifling about that. The man specifically said, first of all, why y'all asking him about basketball? Why y'all asking him about LeBron at a press conference?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's too many things that y'all been crying about that y'all could be asking him about. Y'all swear up and down he's dividing the country. Y'all swear up and down he and Iran causing the war for wrong reasons. Y'all swear up and down he's doing all these things wrong with the country, the policies, and all this. But y'all asked him about some goddamn basketball game. A doggone LeBron James, somebody that should be retired already. Give another one of these young guys an opportunity to come make some money. They only got so many slots in the basketball. You see what I'm saying? He made enough money. You know?
Man, but I think he asked him about LeBron because he know that's gonna be a headline. Anything they knew they could clip that and make that a headline and people gonna talk about it.
Right. That gets back. Okay, I was gonna get back to that. See,
okay.
Because that's why they had an ulterior motive by asking him about LeBron. You know why? Because they knew how LeBron felt about Trump.
Okay.
So they want to see how Trump felt about LeBron. It ain't got nothing to do with sports. See what I'm saying? So they try to fashion a question. Who you like best, LeBron or Michael Jordan? You see what I'm saying? And Trump didn't say nothing trifling. He was very respectful. He didn't use no slang words. He just said, and you notice, he said, I like people who like me. They asked him, well, why does LeBron James like you? He said, I don't know, maybe he's racist. Now, how often do we accuse people of being racist? All of a sudden it's trifling because he's the president? He got probable cause to believe that he might be racist. It's okay for y'all to blame everything on race, but the first time he said, I don't know, he might be racist. He might be. How we know LeBron ain't racist?
We don't know. Be. I don't think LeBron is racist. Shoot.
That don't make him not racist because you don't believe he's racist.
And so technically, black people can't be racist if we wanted to. We can be prejudiced. We don't even have the resources, not even LeBron, the power to be racist. We can't be racist. We don't have a community. We don't own, run, and control anything to be racist. We can't. It's impossible.
Well, we can be racist, but we could be racist. It just I don't know. That don't make. I hear black people saying all the time. It's a cop out. It don't make sense. Anybody can be racist based on the definition of the word racist. in the dictionary, you can be racist. Period. We went
But
out.
there's
Black people want to
nothing we
redefine
could.
things. We want to move the goalposts and redefine things when we want them to fit our narrative. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, according to the dictionary definition, black people can be racist just as anybody else. You don't have to have power to dislike a person because of the color of their skin. If you dislike a person, it ain't got nothing to do with prejudice. Prejudice is we can both be black. That's what prejudice is. Prejudice is when it ain't got nothing to do with the color of your skin. It's 1,000 other reasons why I'm treating you this way or why I feel this way about you. We can be the same skin color and be prejudiced toward one another. Okay? Racist is when something is so. If you hear a black person say, "I hate white people," which I've heard many times. I know you heard somebody say that before. Black person. If you say, "I hate white people," you know what I'm saying, and then you got a lot of other negative things to say about them, that's because you broke. Don't mean you ain't racist. You just a broke racist. Just because you don't own nothing, you just a racist person that don't own nothing. It's because you ain't got no power. You just a racist, broke person with no power. You know what I'm saying? But see, you can have a little power. You can be a mayor. We got black mayors. We've had a black president. We've got black billionaires. You mean to tell me they ain't never been an authority over any white people?
Okay, well, all right.
They could have
Let's
been
check this
racist
out.
toward white people that was subjected to them.
Hold on 1 second.
Person who holds, expresses, or acts on beliefs that people of one race are inherently superior or inferior to people of another race, or who discriminates against people because of their race. The term racist can describe different things depending on context. Beliefs. Thinking that one race is naturally better, smarter, more moral, or more deserving than another. Behavior. Treating someone unfairly, excluding them, insulting them, or harming them because of their race. Policies or systems. The adjective racist can also describe laws, practices, or institutions that intentionally discriminate based on race or that have discriminatory effects depending on the context and how the term is being used. It's also useful to distinguish related terms. Racism, the beliefs, attitudes, behaviors, or systems that involve racial prejudice or discrimination. Racial prejudice, negative assumptions or feelings about people based on their race. Racial discrimination, unfair treatment of someone because of their race. In everyday conversation, calling a person racist is a strong accusation, so it's often helpful to be specific about the words, actions, or policies being discussed, rather than relying on the label alone.
Okay.
Now, does the Hebrew Israelites believe that they superior to white people?
Man.
But what I'm saying,
But it don't matter how you feel if you don't have the authority.
but that wasn't one of the definitions it just gave.
Nah, it wasn't.
Every definition it just gave, a black person can fit that. It don't say nothing about power or authority. It said discriminate against, think. It said think you're superior to somebody else. I see black people all the time that think they're superior to white people in certain stuff.
Man,
You know?
that's when
I
you
see them
get
discriminate, and they said treat them badly because of their race. You know, I've seen people go jump on a white boy just because he was white.
When you think your race of men and women are better than any other race of men and women, is that being racist too?
It just said that. It said if you're superior, if you think you're superior, that's what it just said.
Yeah, because that's what I heard. That's what I be hearing. You know, that we look better than every other race of people. We got better genetics than any other race of people. I'll be like,
they came from caves and they didn't know. So we taught them how to be civilized, and you know they mating with dogs and you know all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, we do that.
You know, so I just never get what people, black people just, that's no accountability. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they don't want to accept accountability that, yeah, you racist or you can be racist. That's just accepting accountability. And black people have a hard problem with accepting accountability. So back to Stephen A. though.
Okay.
Now he's calling Trump trifling, and there was nothing trifling about Trump on that video. Okay, it's trifling to me what LeBron did. Okay, so what are you communicating when you say I wouldn't sit across from him?
I guess that's saying you think you better than him, or you morally more.
He's such a low piece of crap that I don't even want him in my presence. I wouldn't even sit in the same room with him. Right?
Yeah.
Which one is worse? Somebody said, I don't know, he might be racist, or somebody saying, I wouldn't even sit in the same room with him.
Yeah,
which one is worse?
I would say when you look at it like that, LeBron.
All right then, so what the hell is Stephen A. talking about? Who's trifling? You know what I'm saying? So if you don't like Trump, you just don't like Trump. But Trump, what's wrong with Trump saying, well, I like people who like me. You know what I'm saying?
I like who like me. I say that even when it comes to dating. I like who like me.
I mean, for real. I mean, what are we doing here? And then look, let me tell you something else. It's wrong for him to call LeBron
Councilman
racist,
Tate
right?
done that to the building. Yeah.
It's wrong for him to call LeBron racist for having a problem with the president, right? Right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't wrong for everybody to call Trump racist when he had a problem with Obama. You remember when he was just a regular civilian, when he was just a regular citizen, he had a problem with Obama, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
And what did everybody do? They called him a racist. And they thought it was okay to call Trump a racist because he had a problem with a black president, right? But now LeBron got a problem with a white president, and we can't call him racist?
Nah, that's different.
You see what I'm saying? And that's from black people. We get all these passes to be racist. We get all these passes to say things that other people can't say. But soon as somebody else say it, it's a problem. It's a problem.
Man.
I'm with Trump on that. I like people who like me.
Yeah.
You ask me who I like, Michael Jordan or LeBron. I like Michael Jordan in that situation. If I was Trump, I'm just like him. Makes sense to me.
Man. Well, hey, we got Joe Collins that just pulled up in the building. Hey, we got Wright that just pulled up in the building. Hey, man, it looks like we might have a full house tonight.
What's up with it?
Hey.
What's good, y'all?
How you doing?
Ain't not much. Talking about Stephen A., LeBron, Donald Trump.
My favorite three people.
For sure, LeBron up there in my favorite. I'm a big LeBron fan.
I don't like LeBron.
Huh?
He be acting like a little bitch.
Oh,
he do. Look at all that flopping he do on the court.
huh.
All that complaining.
Bro, that's a part of the game.
Nah, he the worst. How you a leader in the game and you the worst?
Cause he the leader.
He just showed us on that video how much of a bitch he is. He crying already. That's crying to me.
Don't all black leaders do that shit?
I wouldn't sit across from him. I wouldn't sit across from him like a little scary broad.
Hey, don't all black leaders do that though?
Do what?
Cry like little bitches. Every time they got a problem, Al Sharpton do it. All the black leaders in Congress do it. All the black athletes, entertainers, they all do the same shit. Only difference is the profession that they in. But every time something happen that somebody don't like, they always get on the internet and start bitching and crying and acting like they the victim and they in a position to do something about it. I agree. LeBron James too goddamn big to be flopping and acting like a little bitch on the basketball court, but that's what everybody else do.
Yep, and the Euro player started it. So if the Euro players
he
can
be
do
acting
it,
like that. He be acting like a little B on and off the court, bro.
hell, man, that dude got a
Everybody be
wonderful
like that.
family. Dude, kids
Just because
ain't
his family
weirdos.
wonderful on them don't mean he don't be acting like a B.
Man, that dude is a perfect role model for the black community.
He's soft as hell.
Yeah, dog. And
Man,
that's
that
another thing.
dude
That's another problem, bro. The black community, I always want to look at rappers, basketball players, athletes for role models, bro.
Because
Why
that's
not?
what
Bro.
all we do is entertain people. That's it. That's all black
They're
people
looking
are
at,
good
bro, they
for is
looking at Dior
entertainment.
Hughley. They looking at Dior Hughley and Ricky Smiley for role models, bro.
Well, that's
That's
different.
because
That's different.
These are actual literal court gestures.
they want to be entertained. That's what black people want. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Everybody want to be entertained.
But
Light
in the
shift
black
entertainment.
But
Everything.
in the black community, we need something to look up to, and we don't have the good TV shows like we used to have back in the day. So the best thing we don't have families no more because the Democratic Party. Well, never mind. But we don't have black families no more. So the closest thing that some black people ever gonna see is a good functioning black family is the LeBron James family. They can at least look at them and say, you know what? I want a good, wholesome family like that. Who you want to be?
No,
Dwayne Wade family?
We got a lot of families to look at like that, bro.
Yo, ain't he getting divorced? Ain't Gabrielle Union divorcing him? She done turned that dude into a LGBTQIA and then transitioned that dude's son and left him. Boy, that's cold.
Yeah,
Tim
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Tim
go ahead.
talking about you are admitting something. He said Obama wasn't born in America, bro. The jury's still out on that. That's the problem. You gonna say to be you ain't gonna be in the know if you just stay on them same liberal channels, bro. The
But
jury's still
Obama
out on
African,
that,
ain't
bro.
he? I thought Obama is African.
They still saying he was born in Kenya. His grandma said he was born in Kenya, and the birth certificate that he did produce, it came back that they actually did an investigation on it, and it was a false document.
Man,
It was
Obama
really
was the
false
best
document.
president.
Do your research.
Obama was the
Get
best.
out there liberal media, bro.
Yeah, but he was the best president the black people could ever have.
If
He
you
did.
did,
He did a lot for the black community, and we should really be honored that
Who,
Obama
Trump?
was our president. No, Obama.
I know you trolling.
He did a lot of great stuff if you're in the LGBTQIA community.
Yeah, I was just saying, I know you trolling, bro.
Other than that, bro, I was on TikTok one time, and then it was a bunch of liberals, and they were talking about Obama and how he was so great for the black community and shit. And they brought me up on a panel, and dude was already like, I need you to be controversial, and I said, all right, cool. And I asked him, I said, besides being black, what did Obama do for the black community? And couldn't nobody name shit.
And they say healthcare.
Can't say healthcare.
That what they say?
Even with the healthcare, people
Oh, the
don't
Affordable
even,
Care Act.
people don't
Yeah,
even
they say-
understand
Yeah,
healthcare.
They said Affordable Health Care Act.
Who said that?
They always say that Obamacare was what he did for.
Yeah, he forced millions of people to get health
Those are your
care.
people, Tim. There you go, your people, Tim.
He forced millions of people to get on health care, and if you couldn't pay for it, he taxed you. He gave you a tax on your tax return, to where you have to pay if you didn't get on it. He didn't help people. He hustled people.
Right, because it was what it really was a stimulus package for the health insurance companies. That's all it was. Because you got people that could pay for health insurance out of their pocket. I used to go to this doctor over here where I'm at. He used to charge $65 per visit out of pocket. You see what I'm saying? I get a cold or something, or whatever, flu or whatever. I go over there and see Dr. Rios. It's $65 out of pocket. Do you know they got that? What do they call that curve you can pay out of pocket, and they come to your house? What do they call that?
I
They
don't
got
know. I go to
it's a lot of
VA.
rich people do that. A lot of people with money they use them doctors, and they don't even use health care. It's called ask ChatGPT what that's called. Where they got the other alternative health care doctors. No, I mean no, where they can they come to you. They
Okay,
independent.
hold on.
And they got relationships with like specialists, like places where if you need to go get a scan or something, they got relationships with them where you get discount.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I forgot what they call it. But yeah, some people want to do that. They don't want to be buy into the health insurance thing. Some people got the doctors that'll take cash out of pocket for cheaper. Hell, sometimes the copay is more than what they would have charged you if you was paying out of pocket.
But Obama did, if I'm not mistaken, like he helped with our the Voting Rights Act for Black people.
They've been having that since 1965. What you talking about?
I know, but he extended it because don't they usually we gotta re-up it every now and then?
No.
And I
don't know.
I thought
Well, they were saying that, bro. I don't know if that was true or not. Cause that
he gave like $80 million.
The Voting Rights Act is not one of those bills that need to be re-upped every single year. Now, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship that gets re-upped every 80 years. I think the last time that one got re-upped was when Lindsey Graham signed it. But the Voting Rights Act is not one of those bills that gets re-upped every year, every couple of years. Now,
because they were saying under Trump we was gonna lose our right to vote.
Right, it's easy to say that when black people emotional in the motherfucker and they want shit to be racist. They want everybody that they don't like to be racist.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hey, we gonna get into some of these videos you sent me, man. You be sending me all kind of stuff.
Tim says, so why don't they have a better healthcare plan under Trump?
It's not the healthcare plan. It's the fact that you have to remove the tax mandate. You have to remove the tax mandate because what happened is when you create the tax mandate and force everybody to get on healthcare, insurance companies no longer have to compete. And so that means insurance companies can drive the price and they can set the standard for the type of people they want to insure because you have to get on it anyway. The worst part of the Affordable Care Act was a tax mandate. Now, once you remove that tax mandate, you allow insurance companies to compete, but the problem is damage is already done. Price already high.
Man, shoot. So what's this video right here you sent me?
For people to invest their hard-earned money, time, and resources in these communities. Right now, in a lot of cases, it doesn't make sense because we do not have people who have common sense and value other people's property. If you guys truly want better for Black Americans, it starts with us fixing our mindset, not blaming the white man, history, racism, and slavery. Don't forget, I have a free email newsletter where I cover these topics in more detail. The link is in my profile. Click that link, drop your email in, hit subscribe, and you'll be good to go. And you guys wonder why property values tend to be higher in areas where there are.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
Now, the crazy thing is, now, what if the owner of that restaurant just starts spraying them like roaches? And Ben Crump, non-reading ass, Al Sharpton, bobblehead dog looking ass, gonna be holding press conferences, calling people racist, even though that looked like Planet of the Apes done took over somebody's business and turned their shit up.
Now, but they come over there. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, black folks will be losing their minds if that store owner, well, you know,
Yeah, I
Did
mean,
what
okay.
he felt like he needed to do.
Now, if they had jumped over that counter, and you can see that they had like some Mexicans and whoever else working back there, if they had throw that hot chicken grease on their ass and stomped them out, like you said, they'll be down there, you know, standing outside of Popeyes trying to shut it down, you know. And then these are the people that get mad when they walk into Walmart or CVS right now, Walgreens, and they have to get the cashier to come unlock the stuff before they can buy something. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. I get exactly what you're saying.
Then they wonder why in their communities shit locked up in the store. And these are the same people walking out, or just walking out the store. Then, it's funny, people like these same people are the type of people that get mad when somebody don't want them to do business with them at their place of business. They gonna say they're racist. They discriminating.
Some spots I noticed they got a requirement of how many people can come in there. It like it'll be like two people at one time, or three,
Convenience stores, yeah.
Yeah, or no hoodies, no poo shiesty masks, all that stuff.
The people have to do that stuff, man, just to protect them and their customers and their merchandise. But see see, nobody ever want to address the elephant in the room, though. And that's why come all these people always have one specific racial demographic. Why you don't ever see this outside of anybody but black people? Same thing with the teen takeovers. Where's that other little video right here? Yeah, right there. Shoplifters are pushing toward bank, pushing her toward bankruptcy right here.
Oh, there you go.
Because all the stealing that's going on. Take a look.
I think this in California.
Fucking look.
Wow.
Watch this. They going shopping.
Just walking behind the counter and helping themselves. That's disgusting.
They shopping in there.
You want to put it back.
I want y'all to pay attention to the races.
Oh, this guy's got his own bag.
Now notice everybody in there. Nobody in there is black, right?
Yeah.
You don't see no black customers, no black employee. It might be a black employee in the back or something, but you don't see no black employees. There's one black woman now. That's one.
Wow.
No, she's stealing. That black lady stealing.
Yeah. You see y'all? You see what I'm saying? Look.
Not the dude in a doctor.
I'm guessing the police aren't doing anything.
He in the business suit. Look at my man. They shopping.
Wow. He just walked in the back and just helping himself.
He
Stuff his
got all
bag.
his favorite stuff. And what do y'all see? Everybody that's stealing on this video, what they got in common?
They look like y'all.
And
Is it me, or do every one of these thieves have common
people
things?
that's sitting
See
there
anything familiar
enjoying
between
themselves,
all of them?
acting civilized, paying for their food. What they look like? This is the elephant in the room that don't nobody want to address, and you can't fix the problem. The first step in Alcoholics Anonymous is to acknowledge that you're an alcoholic. On a 12-step program.
Joe, let me ask you this, because that was in California. You can't do anything to people that's doing that inside your store. Do they have certain laws to where you just kind of got to let them do that?
Yeah, they can take up to $999 worth of stuff, and you can't chase them. You can't do nothing.
It's the same way most of these states. Almost all these states like that now. They always talk about liability and their rights and all that. What about the rights of the person that own that business?
That's why the majority of them businesses be leaving to California, or they be shutting down.
But they leave those neighborhoods where these people are at. Those people that they're in there stealing is why the people like that, they try to move away from people like that, is why they moving these businesses.
Cause you got some stores where they'll lock your ass in there.
Yeah, that's them foreigners, like them Asians and stuff. They fight. They fight for theirs. They don't just let you come in and walk out.
Cause for some reason, I got family members out in California. They seem to be more lenient.
But see,
on homeless and poor people like that. Like they it's like they got privileges.
But if you look at this at the demographic of the people that's patronizing that store, this not in no black neighborhood. So where are all these black people coming from that's doing this stealing? They must have a train station or somewhere around there or something. You see this? You see the context? See what I'm saying? Everybody that's coming in stealing, black. All these customers in there, white. So this ain't in no black neighborhood. So they can't like pack up and move out the black neighborhood because that store not in no black neighborhood.
Man, they need their ass beat. Like I'm sorry, man. You can't, if somebody is committing a crime in my establishment and I commit another crime against them, you telling me I'm gonna get in more trouble than them?
Yep. That's why, bro, they stealing that stuff without a worry in the world. They know the law. They know they can't touch them.
They need a security guard then.
I'm just gonna say, even if they had a security guard, he can't touch him unless he's an actual police officer.
I think, because I know even I used to do security, and it was certain places where they'll send me to do security at, that I'll be like, damn, why they paying security here? But I guess, honestly, if they hire a security guard, then they got to charge more for products to offset the price of having a security guard there.
Exactly.
Doing business hours.
But the security guard is just a deterrent. You see what I'm saying? Because it's really a waste of money. Because if they can't do no more than what the cashier can do, then it's really a waste of money to me.
No, security guards, they have like their little security badges, and you can do a little bit more. You have the ability to do a little bit more than
they can't do no more, bro. I'm telling you, they can't touch them people. They might can do something if they start like physically jumping on somebody in there. Before it's still walking out with products, they can't do nothing to people. They can try to get ahead of them, maybe lock the door to call the police. You see what I'm saying? And what we do, instead of us working on stuff like these, sending these videos right here, we too busy running around like D.L. Hughley, all angry and want to fight white folks and want to defend this nonsense and blame the white man for everything like this here.
Man,
this the white man fault. Everything you just see in that video is white man fault, according to these blackity blacks.
Well, I think the brother did say white folks do have all the white collar crimes. He say, but banks don't never close, and they take your money every day. See, he said banks stealing more than I guess a guy going into the bakery stealing bread and stuff. And then he did say something about white collar crimes too.
You see, this is what I mean right here.
He should come up and debate.
Instead of addressing the problem in our community that we directly affected by and that we directly dealing with, he way over there and talking about banks and white collar crime. Way over there. See how he deflected and you jump way over there instead of using that energy to work right here where our problem at. That's like you got a family, right? You got kids. You and y'all, you got your home. You got to raise your kids, discipline your kids, raise your kids, right? But every time your kid do something wrong, you go to point out what the neighbor kid did, what they doing. Instead of you disciplining your child, you go to talking about, well, What's the name? Kids be stealing too.
What if the neighbor is black? Then what?
They still gonna do that.
Let me play
And-
devil's advocate. Let me play devil's advocate here for a second.
Okay.
Below, well, a new census came out that says that 18% of below 18% of the black population lives below the poverty line. So we still got 82% of the population of black people that still live above the poverty line. But we always take our focus and we put our focus on that 18% below the poverty line who do shit like this. And then we say, well, we need to solve the problem in our community, which is the 18% that lives below the poverty line that commits crimes of these. How do we as black people who don't live below the poverty line put ourselves in a position to be able to tame or be able to correct the behaviors of the 18%?
Well, you start by calling it out instead of defending it, instead of deflecting and turning a blind eye, trying to make excuses for them and all that. We can start by it right there. And that's enough. If we don't do nothing else, at least be willing to do that.
Why?
Separate ourselves.
What is calling out going to do when people don't give a shit about what your opinion is?
They don't have to
I'll
change.
give you an example. Young. I'm from South Central Los Angeles. The OGs, they get put in prison, and then the young dudes start running crazy. When the OGs get out of prison and they try to say something to the young dudes don't want to have nothing. They don't want to hear nothing that the old dudes got to say because they're physically not there helping.
That's fine.
So how is calling it out going to fix it?
Well, because if you making excuses for somebody doing wrong, then you just as wrong as they are. That's all I'm saying. You might as well have been helping them do the wrong. That's all I'm saying. Stop aiding and abetting.
Yeah, we do seem to make excuses for the degenerates.
We gotta separate ourselves from the degenerates. If they don't want to listen to us when we try to talk to them, you gotta separate yourself. Because what happens is, even though it's 8, and when I say below the poverty level, and when you say below the poverty level, I don't believe the people below the poverty level are the only ones that act like that.
In the black community, it's not even everybody below the poverty line. It's about 4% of the 18% who live below the poverty line who commit crimes, and the people who commit crimes are repeat offenders. So they commit 1, 2, and 3, 4 crimes, and they do this shit over and over again.
Yeah, but we got a lot of suburban people with middle class, lower middle class, penitentiary full of them. So shit, they commit just as much crimes, almost.
I don't think there is no statistics that supports that.
I live in the suburb. I see it. What do you mean? I ain't talking about say breaking in my house, but these kids, they watch that rap music and stuff, and then they grow up, and that's why I never understood about them. You grow up in the suburb, but you want to be a thug. You see what I'm saying? And I see we've had shootings out here in Rowlett. Every time they black. Every time.
Aren't they gentrifying places like South Dallas, and then so you got guys moving to Rowlett, you got guys moving to Forney, you got guys moving to Frisk, like niggas moving to these different areas and they fucking them areas up?
Yeah, that's true, like in Forney and all that, but at the same time,
I'm going to say for sure Forney.
Yeah, but at the same time, some of these suburban people that have been out here for a while, that can afford to live out here, they got their kids and stuff. They, like I said, it's a subculture. They dip into that culture.
Or they came from that culture. Just because you move to the suburbs from the hood don't mean that your culture automatically changes. Like whatever mindset that you grew up in is a mindset that you're gonna have until you graduate from that mindset. So these niggas that grew up in a Rowlett and shit like that, these people are not people who grew up in the suburbs. They come from the hood.
Yeah, what you're saying is true, but they're no longer in the poverty level. They're above the poverty level.
Man, but then even in Arlington, it's kind of always been a thing. Like you got the rich kids that never been in the hood, they have they say that about Ja Morant too. They have like this identity complex where they need to prove that they harder than people in the hood. So they'll act out, they'll commit crimes just to prove to the hood people that they get down like that.
They want hood credit.
Imposter complex. That's what they call it. They got the imposter complex. Like you not tough. You grew up in like Michael Irvin's son. What his name is, Glock something or some crazy name, and he grew up in a big old mansion.
Yeah. Perfect example. Yeah.
Man.
But the thing is this. We the only race of people that associate crime with poverty.
Yes, that's because 95% of black people who are middle class are never arrested or never commit crime. They mostly abide by the law.
But why come our poor people commit more crimes than other races poor people?
They don't. It's just our shit is always on TV. And then another phenomenon that happened is during the first Trump election, 2016, whenever he was running for office, they glamorized talking shit about the black community to justify talking points or to get popular amongst white conservatives.
I gotta do some pushback on that.
And then they never come to the hood. They never are leaders. They always talk shit. So since black conservatives glamorized talking shit about black people and the hood as a talking point to justify why the Democrat Party is bad, now you've created an atmosphere where you have white conservatives talking shit about black people by using the same talking points that black conservatives use, and the majority of the shit is inherently bullshit.
I don't think it got nothing to do with being a Democrat, Republican, conservative, or liberal. Y'all ass don't know how to act. At the end of the day, why you say that they're not committing more crimes, but they fit in the penitentiary up more. It's completely. Wait a minute. I know we can go into all the nuances of they ain't got lawyers, they get convicted more and all that. At the end of the day, they do more violent crimes, bro. If you grew up in California, you know it. You see it.
Oh, that's not what I was going to say. That's not what I was going to say. What I was going to say.
I'm just saying. I know somebody in the comments going to come up with that.
Oh, I'm about to say we've always had this issue. It's just now it's being highlighted. But when you look at
go ahead.
Even when you look at the conviction rate versus the exoneration rate, we're exonerated more than any other race. Also, because the majority of the arrest or even jail time is bullshit. Also, not saying that we don't have issues in our community. I believe we 100% do have issues in our community.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that a lot of us get arrested on bullshit because we have this subculture where we don't like the police. So the police pull you over and you got an attitude, talking shit, and you wasn't even going to get arrested. Now you end up getting arrested. Now you got to figure out how to get out of this shit.
I mean,
when the whole time, all you had to do was conduct yourself with a little class, and he was going to write you a ticket or not even that. Sometimes they're going to give you a warning. Police can't even walk up to the car half time. Why you pulling me over? And then as soon as it escalated a little bit, because I'm black. We wouldn't even be at this point had you not had attitude, had you rolled your window down like I asked you to, stuff like this, man.
But every now and then you do get that cop, that thrill-seeking cop that's looking to escalate. You do get that cop every now and then that's on 10. They get to your window and they on 10.
Yeah,
and you trying to calm the cop down, like, hey, calm down, bro.
Yeah, can't nobody argue that. You gonna always have that. You gonna always, as long as you got human beings, the human factor, you gonna always have some of that. You know what I'm saying?
But I think people always want to argue with the police instead of taking that ticket and going about their day. You can't argue with the police. They enforce
Yeah.
public policy. They don't protect private rights, because even when you look at a contract, whether they take an oath or anything, the contract is to enforce public policy. All of these statutes and codes and shit. And so you'd be better off just be like, all right, give me a ticket for whatever, and I'll go take care of it in court.
You deal with it later, yeah.
Yeah, they ain't that big
Trust
of a
me,
deal.
I done been whooped by the police before, and I was in the right.
Damn.
Right.
I was in the right. I mean, they ain't just beat me down, but they, they roughed me down, handcuffed me, and punched me. But I was in the right. You know what I'm saying? But so, but anytime you give them any talk back, push back, and like that, you put yourself in a bad position.
Every time.
And that's how I be trying to say to people. And then we want, Kyle Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump and all this stuff over there. Then you find out this shit wasn't even about nothing. Oh, because I'm black.
You know what
Speaking
the
of
biggest...
Benjamin.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You got it.
I was about to say one of the biggest bullshit moments in the black community was Rodney King when he got his ass whipped by the cops. And I try to explain to people, and they don't get it. Well, the cops beat him up, da 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 da. That motherfucker was going like 60 miles an hour in a residential zone, and he wasn't even gonna get beat up, but he started trying to fight the cops first. And then he got his ass whipped. I mean, they beat him up pretty good, but it's just like, nigga, you drunk as fuck.
It sounds like you might be a little bit older. It sounds like you might be just a little bit older than me.
No, I'm only 40.
Oh, how you know about that then?
I grew up in LA.
Yeah, but you was shit. When that happened, you had to be 4 or 5 years old.
I think like 8. Was it
Yeah.
93 or some shit like that? But we was
It was in 91.
91. Shit, we was aware though. I mean, I grew up in gang culture, so our awareness was already high about what was going on in the streets. And plus, I grew up in 104th and Normandy, and Watts was only like 10 minutes away.
But nah, they beat his ass though.
He deserved it too.
I ain't gonna say. I can't say he deserved it, bro.
I can't.
But no, wait, hold on.
Bro, he was trying to fight them cops. He was trying to whip them cops' ass.
All right, now he did deserve an ass whooping, but not the one he got. He can't beat his ass.
I mean, like if I live in a house now, and if somebody, and it's kids outside and they be playing. It don't matter what time they be riding bikes and shit. My son, they be out with his friends walking the neighborhoods and shit. And if a dude is drunk as fuck and he's driving 60 miles an hour, it's so much chaos that you can cause. And then you run into a fire hydrant or whatever, and then you try to fight the police. Then I'm expecting the police to whip that ass. I'm expecting the police to beat the dog shit out of him. Because that could be somebody's kid. I mean, he ain't ever drink and drive again after that.
But you see how they turned into a race thing?
It did, because he was black and the cops was white.
Yeah. So that's gonna always be a thing right there.
That's because black people, for the most
no
part,
accountability, like I said earlier, no accountability,
emotionally unintelligent. The emotional intelligence.
I gotta go with that. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. What else you got for us, Cool Reviews?
Oh, no, I just was going off with. Oh, okay, so we were speaking of Ben Crump.
Yeah.
And we got this Nolan Wells thing going on. First of all, why do they let this dude talk? He can barely read. And when he talk, man, it just don't make sense.
Was he born here?
He sound like he from backwoods Mississippi or something.
He sound like he from Africa. Is he not African?
I don't think he African.
That's what he sounds like. He got some type of because he don't sound like a regular black person.
He just sound like he just can't read. But what are y'all thoughts on the Nolan Well case, so much stuff is coming up. How y'all feel about this right now?
Well, I feel like we doing the same thing we did with the Rick Child case with the little young man in a convenience store in North Carolina with South Carolina, what it was. The 14-year-old went in there and got shot and killed, chased down, shot and killed. We're doing the same thing we did with the Dallas Frisco case with the Carmelo Anthony stabbed the white boy and killed him. We doing the same thing. We not waiting until the information come back, the facts. You see what I'm saying? Everybody jumping out there and don't know what's going on. And remember, originally everybody thought that he jumped on a boat with 3 or 4 of his friends and just one boat just went out into the boondocks and then they came back without him. Ain't that how they coined it in the beginning? Come to find out, it was multiple boats that went out.
Okay.
And they all went to a little island where it was 100 people out there. You see what I'm saying? Now, if they'd have gave us that from the beginning, it wouldn't been so, painted in our mind, planted in our minds that they done planned and schemed and premeditated to take this black boy out there in the boondocks by himself and kill and mess him off. See what I'm saying? So we didn't learn nothing from the Carmelo Anthony case, you know what I mean? Where we need to just wait till more facts come out.
But you don't think that, so, they got the autopsy, I guess that stuff back, and now they saying his throat is missing and other organs and stuff is missing. You don't think there's no foul play? Or you just saying there's just not enough evidence yet?
That's another thing. We got to stop being ignorant. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We too, what's what I'm looking for? We too gun-ho about, we jumping to conclusions with just a little bite of information. You know what I'm saying? We don't do no due diligence. If you do, if we done due diligence, they'll find out that that's a common procedure for them to hold those certain body parts and stuff like that, and till they get their findings and continue to do the biopsies and the research and stuff on those particular organs. You see what I'm saying? That's why they got the body without those organs, because the state wasn't finished with them. But they insisted on having the body for their personal autopsy. And then then that's the thing. They didn't have the actual doctor that did the autopsy sitting there reading that instead of Trump. I'm not Trump, what's his name? Crump no reading ass. You know what I'm saying? He done all of us a disservice sitting there trying to read that to us because he don't even know what the hell going on with that paperwork. You know what I'm saying? And that medical language. He was trying to act like he knew what we're talking about, bro. Medical terminology and legal terminology. Law got its own terms and dictionary, right? And the medical field got its own dictionary and its own terms. He way over here in somebody else's lane. You know what I'm saying? So it could be like, so he could look like he educated, but in all actuality, they should have had the doctor that did the autopsy there to read his findings to us. That way we can understand, because that same doctor probably would have told us that was common and normal, the fact that those parts was missing. That there's nothing weird about that. See, so he interjected that. You see what I'm saying? And that's race grifting, man. And like what's his name said. What's his name? Well, Austin Tatum went out there and done his little journalism. Like he said, they wasn't fair to them boys. They went to hunt about, they cut off, they lawyered up and they cut off their social media, this and that. Put yourself in their shoes. Right? You got all these people. Go ahead.
But why did they take Nolan Wells' phone?
Well, that's another thing. They got to do the research, bro. Y'all got to go from. We can't just take the first thing first. Especially watch where you get your information from. That's the first thing. Because if people want something to be a certain way, they're going to present it that way. And most of the time, and a lot of times, the people that's pushing it the most, they're the people with the least information. The ones that's broadcasting the most, them be the ones with the least information. You see, so like when Officer Tatum did a good journalism job. He went to Mississippi. He walked on the places where the people were, and he went and looked at the site. He walked with these people. He talked with these people that was all involved, and come to find out, several people left their phones on the boat. You know, they didn't want their phone in the water.
Okay.
Tatum didn't do no good job. Because if Tatum would have did a good job, he would have asked them the hard questions. And he would have gave us an unscripted, uncut interview instead of a cut interview. One of the biggest problems that I had with the interview was, one, Tatum has made his whole career being biased against the Black community. There's never been a time where Tatum had a pure intention on actual fact finding. His entire goal was to go out there and try to prove that these boys they were getting treated wrong. If the boys wasn't getting treated wrong, then what the hell happened to Nolan? Why is it you got a girl that's saying that no, Nolan went back with his boys, and then the boys said that the Nolan stayed with the girl, but on every interview, they said, no, we were yelling at Nolan to come to the boat. And then even the girl said, well, I heard them yelling to Nolan to come to the boat, and that's when the last time I seen him. So from the time that they were yelling for Nolan to get back on the boat until the time they made that emergency phone call, where the hell was Nolan at? I think the last video they showed was at 2:30. The last time they said they talked to Nolan was at 3:30. They didn't leave the island till 4:30. The emergency call was made at 4 o'clock. So between 2:30 and 4:30, where was Nolan? If everybody said that the last place that they seen Nolan was being yelled at by his friends to get on a boat, and they were actually by the boat, then Nolan was somewhere by that boat. But the problem is, can't nobody answer the question. They supposed to be best friends, but they ain't never went to the boy's house. They supposed to be best friends, but none of these dudes showed up at the funeral except for the one, Javion, whatever his name is. So there's a lot of questions that didn't be asked. It's great that he went out there and got the information, but the intentions was not to do fact finding to find out what happened to Nolan. The intentions was to go and do everything that he always does, and that's try and prove that the white boys are innocent. He was biased from the jump. He has always made his career. This punk ass motherfucker said some foul shit about me when I was running for Congress, and that was false. That he got from a dude who is now in jail. Anytime anybody in the Black community has died or something that's happened to him at the hands of a white person or the police, he'd be the first person to pull their criminal rap sheet to try and prove that what happened to these people is justified. Black conservatives like Brandon Tatum are batting zero. He didn't get it right with Ahmaud Arbery. He didn't get it right with Breonna Taylor. He didn't get it right with Trayvon Martin. He didn't get it right with George Floyd. He didn't get it right with this guy. He didn't get it right with Freddie Gray. He didn't get it right with nobody. Because his intentions is always to prove that whatever happened to Black people, they deserved it because they have rap sheets. They've been arrested in the past. Or somehow they didn't grow up in a good family. It's always a pivot to be able to justify this. He didn't have the purest intentions when he went out there, and that's why everybody be giving that dude a hard-ass time. It'll be different if you went out there and you were not biased. You want to know exactly the boy story, and then you call them out on their bullshit the same way he called Black people out on their bullshit. But he didn't go out there with that intention. The information is great. I'm glad you got it, because you're going to be the deciding factor whether these boys get caught up or not, because they lied a lot in them interviews. The stories were so inconsistent.
Okay, let me say this. Well, we go hearing different information from everywhere. So, you know,
I don't want to hear from them boys unless them boys.
Some people gonna say it's not inconsistent. Some people gonna say it is, this and that. But what about the line that his mama did?
And what line was that?
She got said, but she said that she ain't. None of them people reached out to her or nothing. Nothing. And then she came back.
She corrected herself in the same interview that said one person reached out to me.
No. She said none of them. And then she came back. She came back after Officer Tatum went down there and found out that 2 to 3 of them mothers and parents had texted her and reached out to her, and she came back on an interview and said that she just wanted to let everybody know that she misspoke, and 2 or 3 of them did text her and reach out to her.
When she was standing there,
So if they're gonna find holes in the white boy's conversation, you got to find holes in his mama conversation. That's like she was saying. She said she didn't know them. I don't believe her. I think she lying because that little black boy. He said, "Man, I've been there. I've been to her house several times. I ain't never spent the night or nothing." He said, "But I pick what's name up from the house all the time." He says, "I leave my car over there sometimes. He said I even went out of town, left my car over there for almost a week one time in her yard." You know, he says so. He don't know why she's saying she didn't know him.
That wasn't.
But you got to think about it. If she lies about those texts that the parents did not reach out to her, how you know she ain't lying about? She didn't know none of these kids, and that boy. So that's why I believe the boy over her.
She was the one who lost the kid. The boy was the one who was with the kids. The one that she said she didn't know was the black kid that Tatum did the interview. The other little boy who was at the house 24/7 along with Javon was the 2 kids who actually went to the funerals. That's the one that she knew. Trayshawn or whatever his name was, that's the one she said she didn't know. She's never met him. He's never been to their house. He's never spent time with the family. But the other 2 black boys have spent time with the family. That's who she said she didn't know. In the interview that you're talking about, where she said none of the parents texted her, right after she said that, she corrected herself and said one parent. I got a text message from one parent. In that same interview, when she was sitting up on the podium talking to everybody. Officer Tatum didn't make anybody change their stories. Nobody on the legal team responded to Officer Tatum. Officer Tatum said that he was working with the police. How is he working with the police and he's not even biased? He went out there with an agenda, and the agenda was to prove that the boys who should be under investigation were innocent. You can't say that those boys are not innocent when they're the last people that this kid was with.
But you gotta understand, they're always under investigation. They're under investigation right now. You see what I'm saying? They're under investigation. They don't have probable cause to think that they should be locking them, but they don't want them up. You can't just blame somebody and just lock them up, bro. When it's a grown man that said he didn't want to go back on the boat with him.
We don't know that Nolan said. We don't know Nolan said that.
That's right. And the police don't either. So how do you lock these boys up?
So the last boys who was with Nolan Wells, who actually have something to hide, they said, well, he stayed with the girl. That's the one you believe?
No, they had other witnesses there that they seen Nolan on the island after those boys' boat left.
What other witnesses? Because those other witnesses have not been identified.
This is the thing. Listen, this is
hold on. They even trying to cover up the names of Bert. They didn't even want Bart's name to be out. So them boys are even covering up for other people who were there as well. You can't. It's impossible to say that he was with 7 or 8 people.
Bro, they should cover those boys' names up. Do you see what happened with the social media? They be doxing people and they sending people death threats and all this kind of stuff. They should be trying to cover their name up.
Between 2:30 and 4:30, everybody says that Nolan Wells was by the boat. He was by the boat. They were yelling at him to get on the boat. Now all of a sudden, nobody know where Nolan Wells went. The girl said, well, even in the interview when he was talking to the white boy, he said, well, you know, Katie even texted my boys and said that the last time that I seen Nolan was by y'all boat when y'all was yelling at him to get on the boat. So between them yelling at him to be on the boat and him disappearing, they were the only people that he was around.
Did he get on the boat? Obviously, he didn't want to get on the boat because they're saying, come on, man, we got to go. The boat's breaking down. It's sinking.
Nobody, if you listen to the interviews, after they yelled at him to get on the boat, nobody else said anything about him getting on the boat or leaving. Nobody said, no, he left. No, he didn't get on the boat.
So we don't know if he got on the boat or not. So
exactly. So who were the last people that he was around? Who was the last people that he was around? Think about it.
If there was 100 people out there, bro.
No. Everybody said that Nolan Wells was by the boat with Katie, and they were yelling at Nolan to get on the boat. If the last place that everybody seen Nolan was by the boat. So how come they didn't see Nolan walk off? They ain't never said Nolan walk off.
Wait a minute. Did Katie get on the boat?
No, Katie did not get on the boat. Katie said that she left because her brother came to pick her up.
Wait a minute. So you confirm what I'm saying? It was other people out there hanging out.
Nolan.
Now, if he obviously he didn't want to get on the boat.
Hey, can you pull up that interview Tatum did with that white boy?
Obviously, he didn't want to get on the boat.
Hold on. Cause they never said Nolan wanted to get on the boat. Even the girl said, "Nah, Nolan." The last time I seen Nolan,
what I'm saying is, if we hollering, hurry up, get on the boat.
He is right next to the boat, and they're yelling at him to get on the boat. Got on the boat. Katie left him by the boat. Katie said the last time I seen him was when y'all was yelling at him.
You keep missing it, bro.
I'm not. You're talking about a whole bunch of people being on the island. He was by their boat.
Okay, but the boat left, bro.
He was by their. Nobody said that the boat left. He was by the boat before the boat left.
Everybody know the boat left because boat. Everybody know the boat left.
Now,
everybody said the boat left.
Did during the interview? Why did they never say Nolan walked off? Or Nolan ended up walking Katie somewhere. Nolan to get on the boat.
That's what they trying to map out in the investigation.
They ain't trying to map it out. They're trying to protect themselves.
No,
because if Nolan was by the boat and you guys, so why didn't they say no? We left him. Why didn't they say Nolan walked off?
They said that. They said he wouldn't go. He wouldn't get on the boat.
They did not say. They never said
this interview right here, brother. The man, the white boy said that he wanted to stay. He said it on this interview. Listen.
Go ahead and play.
He said he wanted to stay.
These are very pointed questions. I mean, just straight out. The first thing I want to ask you is, did you kill Nolan? All right, Warren. We had a chance to get to know each other over the last 2 days. Went out to Horn Island, so. I've had an opportunity to talk to you about a few things, and the things that you've told me have literally blown my mind. But the world haven't had a chance yet to hear your story, to hear Nolan's story through his friend. And it's not just you, it's a bunch of y'all. But, some of the other guys were afraid because of the threats and the violence that's been threatened against their lives and all of the above. But you decided that you wanted to take this bold step and give a statement and, get your side out here. And I want to start at the very beginning of all of this and ask you, what was your relationship like with Nolan? Who was he to you?
Nolan, I could describe Nolan in a million ways. I mean, Nolan was not just a best friend of me, but he was a brother. I grew up through elementary, middle school, high school, and even our freshman year of college. We talked on the phone all the time. And I mean, I had a great relationship with Nolan. I've never got in an argument with Nolan. We were super close, and I've never said or will ever have anything bad to say about Nolan Wells.
Yeah, and you guys, you said you kind of grew up together. Mm-hmm. Did you know his mom, or how was that? Because I saw in the media where it appears that she may have said, at least I saw in part, that she said as if she didn't know any of you guys.
Right. Well, Nolan a lot of the times was at like my house and at my buddy's house. We never went to Nolan's house and hung out. I mean, and my friend group's very, very tight knit. I mean, we hang out every day when we're back home from school. In high school, we hung out most weekdays and every day on the weekend. And I mean, we were never at Nolan's house, which, there's nothing wrong with that. But I met his father, and I mean, in 8th grade, that's when Nolan and I got really close. It was COVID year, and we were in class all year long together, me and a couple of my buddies. And Nolan and I just got super tight because we'd get a Waffle House once a week together, eat. And I mean, we were just super, super close. But his dad would swing by Waffle House, and hang out around us, but never, I was never around Nolan's parents a lot. But I mean, that didn't change our relationship any. Nolan and I were still just as close, and he was just as close with my friends as, anyone else. So.
And walk me through the day, 4th of July, where you guys were all going out.
Right.
This seems like something that I would assume that may have occurred more than just this year.
Yeah, of course.
Was it something that you guys did more than just this year? This is a 2-part question. I want to know, is it something that you guys typically did together? Did you hang out often in this fashion? And then I want you to then walk me through
4th of July this year when the incident happened?
Okay. Being from the Gulf Coast, there's boating and fishing is very, very popular. The 4th of July, every year, my friends and I or my family and I are out on the water. I mean, that's the one day is guaranteed everybody's going out. And that's a known thing. Everybody's trying to get a ride out to Horn Island, or, people go to Ship Island, but most of everybody from Ocean Springs and the Gulf Coast go to Horn Island. And, we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year, and he was, this was a common thing. My friends go on the boat when we're home. Very, very common. That's what we like to do. My friends like to fish also, and like to go on the boat, not just fishing, but like to go on the boat, like to go on sunset cruises,
Hold on a minute.
Like to do it all, on the water, And Nolan loved to do that too.
Yeah.
And why did Nolan's parents neglect to tell everybody that Nolan went out with these same boys last year on the boat to the same thing? You see what I'm saying? Little context, little detail like that matter. Go ahead.
He didn't provide proof in court. That would be inadmissible unless he provides proof. It doesn't exist. Mind you, he's the one who got something.
Well, what I'm saying is, if that happened, so you saw why his mom didn't say nothing about it.
Exactly.
But if he got something to hide, why is he doing an interview? Because wouldn't his lawyers would have tell him not to do interviews?
They have to paint the story. They have to paint the narrative, because if he should have gave an interview to the police, not Tatum. Tatum's not a cop. Tatum was only a cop for like 6 years.
Nah, bro, you give an interview to the person that you think gonna give you a fair interview.
No, he gives the interviews to the person who's actually doing the investigation.
He got 1 million followers. He's gonna get to the person that's gonna do the read.
So if that's the case, for every unsolved crime, Tatum should be out there interviewing people, right?
No,
because he's qualified. He's qualified.
Crump ain't
law enforcement.
Ben Crump ain't on every unsolved crime.
Ben Crump is an attorney. Tatum ain't an attorney.
He's a journalist. He's doing journal work right now.
Tatum don't have a journalism degree.
You don't have to have a journalism degree. Like Nick Shirley don't have no journalism degree, but
Nick Shirley has a degree in journalism.
Oh well, see, you don't have to have a journalism degree to do journalism,
bro. You can't pick and choose when you want to protect somebody. Right is right and wrong is wrong.
No, you can't.
Tatum. And if he's going to get an interview, he needs to give an interview to the police, or he needs to give an interview to an attorney, not to Tatum. Because everything that he...
Wait a minute. So you're going to tell me that you don't think this white boy done gave an interview to the police?
Hold on. Didn't he say he didn't give an interview to anybody? On this same interview, he said we haven't given an interview to anybody.
He's talking about this kind of interview. He's not talking about the police.
They haven't talked to the police. They lawyered up. He even said it in here.
So you mean to tell me you really believe that these boys have not been questioned by the police?
I believe they haven't talked to the police. The same way you believe that everything that coming out this little boy mouth is the truth.
Nah, I don't believe that.
So, but you believe everything he say, and he's the last person who saw it.
I believe everything he say.
Seems like it. Because every time I point out an inconsistency in his story, you have something.
I haven't seen any inconsistencies.
You ain't paying attention.
I'm paying attention. I haven't seen any inconsistencies. The man just telling this story.
He lying. He creating a narrative trying to protect himself.
Okay, how you know he lying?
Listen to the inconsistencies in his story. Go
I
ahead.
ain't found that yet. Okay, cool reviews. Have you seen any inconsistencies?
I'm still. Listening to it.
I'm just saying, based on what today, I'm talking about today, just based on this video right here.
Well, not yet.
Let's keep watching.
Okay, let's keep going.
Is very, very popular. The 4th of July, every year, my friends and I or my family and I are out on the water. I mean, that's the one day is guaranteed everybody's going out. And that's a known thing. Everybody's trying to get a ride out to Horn Island, or people go to Ship Island, but most of everybody from Ocean Springs and the Gulf Coast go to Horn Island. And, we went last year. Nolan was on the boat with me last year. And he was, this was a common thing. My friends go on the boat when we're home Very, very common. That's what we like to do. My friends like to fish also, and like to go on the boat. Not just fishing, but like to go on the boat, like to go on sunset cruises, like to do it all, on the water, And Nolan loved to do that too. I mean, he was not like he was just like everyone else in our friend group. He loved to go on the water and, have a good time with the guys. And that's what we did a lot. But 4th of July, everybody was out there. Like I said, like Nolan was always trying to go on the boat, trying to go out there with us. And he was always welcome to come. Nolan was always out there with us. And, but started 4th of July, my buddies and I had talked about this week's upcoming, everybody's very, very excited for the 4th of July from down here. Like it's a big thing.
It's a big deal.
Very, very big deal. And, I actually stayed with Nolan that night at my buddy's house, and I woke up at my buddy's house, and we went to McDonald's, got food. Nolan was not with me, and I went and got breakfast. I had my buddy's boat hooked up to my truck, and first I ran to my house, then I went to McDonald's and came back, and the boat was already hooked up to my truck. My buddy Wyatt and I went, and with my buddy, and we went, topped the boat off, loaded it down with ice, and just got everything ready. Then Wyatt went and put his smaller boat in the water, which is the Palm Beach. He's an 18-foot Palm Beach, and I drove the boat from Fort Bayou Boat Launch to my buddy's grandparents' house, and that's where we all planned to meet up that day. And
you say we all, who you talking about? You, Nolan, and how many people are going to meet you guys there?
We had roughly 20 to 30 people coming on 3 separate boats with us. And so we were all following each other out there as one big group. It wasn't just me and Nolan and a couple other of my buddies. There was 20 or 30 people spread out where we all met at the dock before, and then we departed to go to Horn Island. It wasn't just a couple of us. I mean, there were so many people, we had to split up between 3 boats, and we all left and all got there at the same time.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that's clear, because the statements that are out there made it appear that it was just you, Nolan, and probably 2 or 3 other guys, and y'all are the only ones that went out to this island.
And that's completely incorrect. I mean, Horn Island on the 4th of July is the most popular day to be on the water throughout the entire Gulf Coast. I mean, everybody and their mom is on the water on 4th of July,
That's what I'm saying right here.
There's no telling.
Where they find
roughly
time
probably
to do
2 to
something
3,
and all
maybe
these
even
people
4,000
around.
people out there. There were boats lined up off the island. I mean, there was 3 rows of boats all the way until my vision ended, until I could see of people there was 1 row of boats, and then there was another row of boats, and then there was a 3rd row of boats.
Yeah.
I mean, there was people lined up all up and down the island to where, who knows? And that wasn't just, we were parked on the north side, on the west tip. It wasn't just there. There's tons of people packed out on the south side and on the east end and in the middle of the island. But just where we were, there was easily 1,000 people. It wasn't just us.
Let's go back a little bit. I want to go back to you guys at the dock, getting on the boat. You're saying there's multiple people, probably 20 or 30 people getting on 3 boats.
Right.
So
what boat
Tatum
were you
normally
on,
do interviews
and what
like
boat
this?
was Nolan on?
Nolan was on Wyatt's 22 Triton.
No.
On the way out, I went with my buddy Bart, because we had a lot of friends from college coming down, and I called Bart that morning. I was like, "Hey man, can you take your boat out?" And he was like, "Yeah, well, my dad's decided not to go, and I'll take the boat, and I'll take you and your friends." Of course, he's a buddy of mine. And so Bart pulled up at the dock, and I rode out there with Bart and a lot of the girls that go to college with my friends and I, and Nolan rode out on the Triton, and then we had a Palm Beach, 18 Palm Beach. There was 4 guys on that. There was like 8 people on the Triton, and then there was 8 or 9 people on the Triton, and then there was the rest of the group, which was ranged from maybe 10 to 15 or 16 people on my buddy's tide line, which is 24 tide line.
And so you guys get on, and I know a little bit more than the audience do, because we went out there a little earlier, because I wanted to see exactly what what the drive was like, what the dock was like, how far it is out there. Of
course.
But I want you to tell, the audience, like, what was this trip like? How was the waters? Did you guys do anything in between the time you rode and the time you get to the island? Was there music? Is it like a big party? Like, what is that?
Yeah, well, obviously music's blasting. It's 4th of July, man. Everybody's really excited. And we had a lot of people loaded down. So obviously our biggest, we're just trying to make sure everybody, gets out there safe. And on the way out there, it was pretty calm. I think it was blowing like 3 or 4 knots. The waters were clear. It was a great day to be on the water. Sunshine, not cloudy at all. And it was a great day to be out there on 4th of July. And we followed each other out, and it was calm. It was calm. On the way back, it was a little more rough, but it was not anything all my buddies' boats couldn't handle, or like it wasn't like we were getting really beat up or anything. It was pretty calm.
And so you guys get out there. I'm assuming that you line the boats up, because I'm envisioning the picture of getting out there and there's hundreds of boats. Mm-hmm. There's thousands of people. Yeah. So it wasn't just you guys on a deserted island with
of course not
a few people. This is thousands of people out there.
Right.
And there's a lot of people doing what? What does it look like when you first pull up?
I pull up, and we pulled up at 10:30. It wasn't, early afternoon. It wasn't, but 10:30 is, still pretty early in the day. And when we got there was already 3 rows of boats lined up all the way, like I said, until I could see. And
you're talking, when you say all you can see, you're speaking about miles.
Yeah.
Of boats. When we went out there earlier today, when we went out there, the island is
narrative because they want to obfuscate the responsibility.
It's just several miles long.
Roughly 10 to 12 miles.
It's. So you think that the boats were stretching from one end to the next, or just a small area of about a mile or less than a mile of boats?
I think because there was boats all the way around the entire island, but I think some spots were more popular than others. Like the West Tip is usually very, very crowded on the 4th of July, and everybody knows that. So that's where a lot of people park, because they want to be around other people. And the East End's a little more, there's not as many people, but there's still a lot of boats out there. It's not like no one,
and they never speak.
Every area
they never go into detail. He can go into details
covered,
miles of
100%.
boats, what happened whenever the boat was having issues, but he never goes into details on what happened to Nolan during that 2-hour gap. Like, don't nobody know nothing? So they're building a narrative so they can paint that picture.
No, I don't. I believe they just giving you painting you a picture of what it was really like.
It's narrative building.
Because the reason why you have to do that is because, just like Tatum said in the beginning of the video, how the first presentation they gave us, I said it earlier, it's like these 3-4 white boys, when I took this boy out here on this boat by themselves, and they was in a deserted place by themselves, and he came back without him. Nobody ever mentioned nothing about anybody else. That it was a normal 4th of July big celebration thing. Nobody ever mentioned that. And that's why he has to paint this picture.
No, it's he's building a narrative. He's not painting a picture.
That's your opinion.
The reason why he's building a narrative, listen. The reason why he's building a narrative was because at the end of the day, Nolan was with them before he disappeared.
Bro, it don't matter. So you saying you ain't never drove with somebody, you ain't never had a friend in the car with y'all that didn't ride back with y'all?
Stop asking me about what I've ever did.
What I'm saying is people act like they don't make sense.
Right. So check it out. If I go out with Cool somewhere and I'm gonna take off, I'm gonna be like, yo, I'm about to leave with such and such and such and such. I'll catch y'all later.
That don't mean he know them.
It don't matter.
I've been out with people. They'll meet a chick. Say, man, I'm finna bounce with old girl. I don't even know this person.
They do know Katie. Katie's been in multiple.
No, what I'm saying is, if I say I'm gonna bounce with old girl, once my friend leave, he don't know what happens to me after that.
That's the point. Nobody said if they left before Nolan walked away, or if Nolan walked away, or where Nolan was.
This man said they left.
Bro. The last, and I'm gonna point it out on this interview. And then when they go out to the beach, I'm gonna tell you again. They said Obviously, Nolan wanted to stay. We yelled at Nolan to get on the boat. Katie said that the last time I seen Nolan was when we was with y'all by the boat. Y'all was calling for him to get on the boat. Nobody ever said it. Nolan walked off. Nobody said, "Yo, Nolan,
Fast forward.
yo, I'm about to go with such and
Let's
such."
get to the part he's talking about.
Okay.
Exactly. They're like this lady. Who is this? Like she said right here. That's exactly what he said on the interview. That's what I told you earlier.
The girl said.
What
The
this
last
guy on
time,
interview?
no, hold on, wait. You know what?
You saying the girl
no. Wait. Go ahead and play the interview, unless because we're not going to be arguing back and forth. Let's listen to what he said since you believe him. Listen to what he said.
It seemed completely fine every time I talked to him.
Hold on 1 second.
In this, you guys out there, the friend groups out there, 3 boats full of people that came out there that seem to be the closest friend group.
Right.
Where is Nolan in this in comparison to where you and others are at?
Well, I had a couple conversations with Nolan that day, and I talked to him and a couple of my other buddies. In a group, I was not focused on anyone solely, like looking and pointing anyone out, because there's so many people out there. I mean, I was talking to my friends that I haven't seen in a while from high school. I was talking from people I knew from college. I was talking to, everybody my age, and even people older than us were, over there. Like, I mean, it was just a regular thing. We're all used to this. We've been out to the islands before. My buddies don't just go out to the island on 4th of July, but they go out. I mean, Nolan seemed completely fine every time I talked to him. We had just regular conversations, and Nolan was making me laugh. I had a couple conversations with Nolan and Javon, Nolan and my buddy James, I could tell you. I mean, I talked to Nolan a couple times, but it wasn't like I was strictly sitting there talking to Nolan the whole day. I mean, there was hundreds of people I knew out there. So,
yeah. And Nolan said something interesting. You told me about this. Something he said to you, I would say would be indicative of y'all's friendship.
Right.
And then he also mentioned something to you that particular day and what it meant to him.
Fast forward.
And could you share that?
Right. Yeah.
When he talked about what happened when they're leaving the boat.
I mean, like, he's always happy. If I always need to shed a light, I'm calling Nolan, And
I never
Nolan
seen
and I
the
laugh
video
and
before,
joke
so
a
I don't
lot.
know.
Like, that's how our
far
friend group is. We're really jokingly laugh. No one takes anything that serious.
They're just talking about their relationship right now.
If I'm having issues with something, I go talk to my group. So.
And then you guys get ready to leave prematurely.
Right.
And like explain that, because you guys got there around 10.
Yeah.
It's now 4:30.
Right.
People are still out there partying and
Correct.
they're having a good time, but something happened to where it necessitated you guys to get the boat up and running. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So.
Whoa, what happened?
Navan, the #1 rated business
that
travel
was the
platform,
end of
lets your
that
team
one.
book work travel in
I guess
one
it's a,
place. Flights,
part 2.
hotels.
No, somebody, what's this person say? Jason, are you trying to defend
Breaking
the white
news
boy?
tonight.
No, I'm putting myself in their position and see how I would treat them like I want to be treated. That's all I'm doing.
Is this part 2? Let me see.
I say fold forward, you can say throw forward, but that's definitely
Oh no, that ain't
something being flawed.
It says full interview right there. Oh, that's the other guy. Right here. The truth about Nolan, part 1. Let me slow down right there. Hold on. I seen the truth about Nolan.
Yeah, I don't see where it says part 2. So maybe you haven't did a part 2. I don't know.
Well, now I heard more than this.
It's one full interview. It should be on Tatum's channel.
Yeah, this is. I'm on this channel.
Click on latest.
Videos. Okay. Yeah, this is the latest videos right here.
Okay.
The autopsy results, justify, new audio, full. Okay, hold on.
So Warren, I'm gonna ask you some very pointed questions.
It's a big island. There's a lot of people out here, and I mean that's the truth. That's the way it was. I mean, Nolan was like a brother to me.
With Nolan's dad?
Of course not. And absolutely not.
They say that you guys deleted stuff out of his phone. Did you delete any?
You got to go back.
Nola's mom.
Correct.
When did you? And backlash.
Right. With my buddy Brooks the next day, and we're driving, and my buddies were texting my group chat. They were like, "Hey, listen." And then I got a phone call from my buddy Trace, and he was like, "Hey, man, they just found his body." And I was like,
So you got to back up a little bit.
I wanted to have hope, but it was really, really hard to have hope when they haven't found your buddy in the last 2 days. And
Cool reviews. You got, okay.
And
I'll be right back. Yeah.
And Nolan was in that picture.
Nolan was in that picture. And if you look in the picture, my arm is around Nolan in that picture, you know? And I mean, that was a week before the 4th of July. So that picture is not associated within even the same. I mean, that was like a week before. So, yeah.
So you guys are now at swimming and having a good time at a lady friend's house.
Right. I never got to the pool. I talked to her dad for a while, and I mean, all my friends were downstairs. I went upstairs, talked to her dad. We were talking about boats and stuff, and you know, I've been with my friends all day. I was just talking to everybody, but.
So you talked to the young lady's dad, and then how long was it before you realized, or you guys realized that, well, where's Nolan at?
I mean, I went back downstairs, and all my friends were just hanging out, and my buddy Wyatt had a dress.
Is this a 2-hour interview or no?
Yeah, this is a 2-hour.
Talking about Nolan, and I was like, where is Nolan? Have y'all heard from him?
30
he was like, no, we haven't. And I was like, okay,
30?
well.
Okay, that'll go. I got to go back then. 29.
Boat could possibly sink, you know, and
Even
I'm not
before
paying
they went to
attention
the
to
beach, he was talking
everyone
about
around me. I was paying attention to my buddy's boat.
Okay, hold on.
Right, yeah, right there when he said he was paying attention. Even and then after this one, and go back to when they went to the beach, because they went to the beach first, and this one he gave 2 different accounts from the beach, and then
could you
he
share
gave
that?
one account from the beach,
Yeah, so
and then another account on here.
Nolan and my buddy Javon are talking, and you know, I grew up with Nolan, and Nolan's, you know, just all, like I said, like just so joyful, like always happy. Like every picture I have with Nolan or picture I have of Nolan, he's smiling. I mean, like he's always happy. If I always need like a shed of light, I'm calling Nolan, you know. And Nolan and I laugh and joke a lot. Like that's how our friend group is. We're really jokingly laugh. You know, no one takes anything that serious. You know, we just we enjoy our time.
Yeah. Okay.
Together,
Let me.
I mean, it's
No,
never.
they're about to head out to the beach.
Okay, wait, go ahead.
The exact path that the boys took, also with Nolan Wells, from where they docked the boat at, all the way out to Horn Island and back. The boys are going to explain to me exactly what went on, how many people were there, how many boats were taken out, which I think the world is going to be completely dumbfounded when they realize what the truth really is, because the lies have been pervasive. So we're right here where Nolan left on the boat, and you'll find out how many people were there, how many boats, and then we're going to take that same path out. I'm going to go look at Horn Island and see exactly where they could have been to get a perspective that the media don't even care to try to do. And then we're going to take the trek back, and we're going to find out exactly what happened to Nolan.
Even that right there,
I want you guys to have a voice. I want you guys to be able to.
Yeah, I can hear. I hear the
show
bias.
what the truth really is.
That's okay.
And then
Ben
let the world
Crump
decide.
biased.
I just don't want you guys to end up in a situation where
It's a
this
lot of
story
people
never gets
biased.
heard. Right here,
Brandon Tatum actually went out there. He
is
said, y'all can
where
apologize to
Nolan
these boys because
and
these boys are telling the
probably
truth.
20
Nobody else
other
is telling the
kids
truth except for these
got on the
boys.
boat. So
It
it's
don't
not
matter.
just Nolan
He
and
got
3
a
other
right to be
kids.
biased just like everybody
There
else.
was a lot
Biased
of
on the other
myth.
side.
I'm going to prove
That's
that.
why he's not a good journalist.
Right here is where the kids were docking. We're going
That's
to
why
see where
he
they
went out here.
coincided
This is
with
not
the
about
exact
journalism.
angle that the
He
video
went out here
is
to try
broadcast from.
to.
So
He
you know
went
that
out
I'm
here to try to
exactly where
prove
I say
that
I
the
am.
That's
boys
all
are telling
right.
the truth and everybody else is lying.
That's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You got a problem with him.
The
That's
problem
just
with it, the problem with it is you're taking everything in this interview at face value, and you don't even want to look at the
It
inconsistencies.
don't matter, bro.
That's
All
what
y'all
the
gotta
problem
do-
is, and then you want to turn around and argue with me that I'm pointing out inconsistencies when you say no. These boys,
bro, you
right.
have wait a minute. You have not shown me one inconsistency yet.
You're first off. I said he was already biased. You said no, he's not. He's going out here because he want to find.
No, I never said no. He's not.
Tatum is never. He's never.
I've
been
never said
biased.
he wasn't biased.
He's never been non-biased in his career.
I've never said he wasn't biased. But he ain't the only one biased. Everybody else in this thing is invited. Both sides.
Everybody want to know what happened to Nolan Wells because
they
just
don't.
like
No,
myself,
they
them
don't.
boys. Everybody
Most
knows that
people-
them boys was the last person
Most-
that Nolan Wells was
most black
with. And all
people
of a
are
sudden, they
biased.
don't know shit. They don't know
Most
nothing.
black people are biased. Am I right?
It
most
don't
black
have
people are
nothing to
biased.
do with being black.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
it
I
is.
never mentioned black. I never mentioned them boys have something to do with it.
What I'm
I
trying to
said
tell you.
you're
Okay.
arguing points. You're arguing points that nobody ever brought up.
Okay, you're right. Let me correct that. Most people on the other side are biased too. Am I right?
We're talking about this.
Wait a minute. Everybody trying to prove that the white boys did it. They biased.
We talking about Brandon Tatum. We're not talking about everybody.
I'm not talking about
We're
Brandon
having-
Tatum. You're talking about Brandon Tatum. I don't see nothing wrong with what Brandon Tatum doing.
That's because I'm talking about Brandon
It could have
Tatum.
been
because
anybody.
We're sticking to this conversation. We're not talking about what everybody else is talking about.
But
We're
you
specifically
biased.
talking about this.
I see your bias.
How am I
Because you
biased?
gotta-
How
because you
am I
gotta-
biased?
Because you said the white boys lying. You makes you biased. Because I ain't seen no
It
lying.
doesn't make me biased. It
haven't
shows
seen-
that I'm looking at the
You haven't
inconsistencies
shown me
in
yet.
what these boys'
I'm
story
still
is.
waiting on School Reviews. Have you seen a hole in the story yet? I'm still waiting on a hole in the story. So go ahead and play it so you can show me the holes in the story.
All right, well, let's get back to the video. Hold on.
People. Tons of boat.
You asked for it, so we
Hold on
deliver.
one
It's
second.
the Throwback Value Menu. Your favorite starting at $3.
I ain't getting rid. I
Only
ain't
at
paying
Pizza
for the
Hut.
subscription until I
At
get
Spectrum,
monetized.
we believe
so
you shouldn't
I
have
got to
to
deal with
choose
these
between
commercials
speed,
until I get monetized.
reliability, and value.
To, maybe about 30, 40 feet here to the right. And this is where the video is showing how many people were actually out there, actually getting on the boats. So therefore it debunks very clearly that it was only Nolan and 4 boys going out here to Horn Island. All right, you guys, sorry about the sunglasses. It's very bright out here, and I never wear sunglasses, but we're at Horn Island in almost the exact same position where the boys were, where Nolan was. So if you look out right here, just so you guys can get a perspective, you have the Horn Island here, but I want you guys to put this in your mind what this was like on that day. You have boats 2, 3, 4 deep, from way down there where you can see all the way through here. You have thousands of people on this island, probably 2,000 people. So this wasn't some abandoned, secluded island where nobody's at. Obviously this is a Monday and there's a few people on the backside of the island, not a lot of people here. But on 4th of July, this is a celebration. And so this wasn't a small place where 4 boys took their black friend and dropped him off and never seen him again. This place was flooded with people. Tons of people, multiple boats, multiple friend groups. I mean, everybody's here having a good time. And then the boat gets towed out because it was getting ready to sink. And so, and for what I was told, they told Nolan, get on the boat, man, get on the boat. Get on the freaking boat. And he decided, because he's an adult, that he was gonna stay behind. And all the boys that they've been accusing, and they saying it had something to do with his death, they were all gone at 4:30. They were all gone. And they told Nolan to get on the boat, he didn't. And then there was a report of somebody seeing Nolan around 6:30-ish. And so for them to come out and claim these lies, won't take the time to come to Horn Island, won't take the trip out here to figure out what happened, won't talk to anybody, pushing an agenda is wrong. And that's the reason why I came out here. I wanted to see for myself, what did this look like? What could have happened? You know, does the stories line up based on what I've seen and what I've heard from people that live here that were involved in this situation? This is where the lie started. People were putting out on social media, knowing that they're lying, that this is what it was like on a day that Nolan and his friends came out here to Horn Island. And if it was 4 or 5 people and they came out here and Nolan was with them and maybe it was a few people out here like it is today and Nolan came up missing, then maybe it would be suspicious. But they didn't take the time to give context to the people because they're evil and they're liars. So if it was like that right now, when the situation happened, I can see how people had a concern. But you gotta replay this moment with thousands of people here. If anything would have happened directly involving Nolan and his friends, you can't tell me that thousands of people wouldn't have seen anything happen. And so that's pretty much why I wanted to come here and show you guys. This is what they want you to believe it was like on that day, which is a lie. They want you to believe they came to a secluded island, just 4 of them, and then Nolan is left behind, and then his body's washed up on shore, and nobody knows what happened. Nobody could have seen what happened but the boys. It's a flat out lie. Is there anything that you want to say, you want people to know about this whole experience?
Yeah, I mean, from someone, if someone's not from here, it's kind of hard to understand, you know, where the island drops off and how the island works. But, you know, there's plenty of people out here, especially on the 4th of July, you know, this is where people come out to celebrate. And I mean, if you film the water, you can see right here where it drops off. I mean, you can see literally where it drops off. So, I mean, it goes from about waist deep water right there to neck deep. And then it drops from neck deep all the way to like 17, 20 foot. I mean, we weren't even a quarter mile out the island and when we were leaving, and I mean, it was 30 foot of water. Yeah. But I mean, if we're walking towards the east right now, but if you walk down to the west, that's where the west tip of the island is, and that's where the current picks up very, very bad.
People talk about the phone situation. I want to, because the way you articulate it, I just walked in the water with my pants, they're wet, and you can tell right away that if you're hanging out in the water, it doesn't appear, in my opinion, that you would have your phone on you. Is that typical for people to have their phones, or?
No, I mean, people come out here, especially on the 4th and, you know, Memorial Day, like, you know, days like that, they come out here to celebrate, and people get on the water to be off their phones, first off. Second off, if I'm sitting waist deep in water, and all my friends are, everybody's leaving their phone on a boat, in a lake, you know, if you're sitting on a pond, and no one's getting out of the water with their phone in their hand, unless, you know, it's to take a quick picture. But most of the pictures taken on the 4th of July were on the boat. Yeah. I mean, and, you know, saltwater, if you drop your phone in saltwater, most of the time you're not going to get it back. Yeah. I mean, you know, especially the water's murky right now because there's been a lot of rain. You can't see, the visibility isn't good. The water isn't clear like it was last year around this time. And, you know, like, no one has their phone, though, usually. I mean, unless you're crazy, I'm not walking around with my phone in my hand. They've been walking around Horn Island, you know.
How many people left the phone on the boat? Was it just his phone when y'all left, or did other people have phones on the boat?
Absolutely not. Like, there was at least, well, I rode out here on a different boat, like I told you, and I grabbed my phone when I left the Palm Beach to get on the boat with Triton. To get on the boat with Wyatt because we were having, you know, boat issues. And when I got on the boat, there was phones everywhere on the console. I mean, everywhere. Like, I mean, there was everybody's phone that was sitting around the boat was on the console. Like, we had phones that we didn't even know whose they were, you know? And people just leave their phone, especially when people are drinking and, you know, they're not in the right state of mind. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll just leave my phone and I'll get it later, you know? And that's the way it is around here. You know, you don't take your phone and walk around the island. You know, there's plenty of phones on the boat and, you know, spread out between the 3 boats that we had. And, I mean, we had 20 plus people spread between our 3 boats. So, of course, everybody's phone was on the boat. I never saw someone in the water that day sitting with their phone in their hand, scrolling on anything or even taking pictures in the water. Yeah, someone might hop out the boat. You know, a lot of girls like to take pictures, you know, in the water. And so do guys, but, you know, girls want to take pictures in the water. Half a second, you might hop out the boat and be like, oh, I'm snapping this picture of myself or of someone else. But as soon as I get back in the boat, I'm putting my phone up and I'm getting back in the water and I'm hanging out with my friends.
Yeah, that's just common sense, man. And describe to me what the day was like. I saw a video online. How hectic was it out here? I mean, right now it's barren. There's not a lot of people out here.
Right.
But clearly that's not what it was on the 4th of July. So, like, how dense was it with people here?
Well, I mean, you look at all the videos, you know, that are spread out online, and a lot of them, you know, you can't believe what you see all the time online. You know, you know that better than anybody. But, I mean, there was boats lined up all the way down the island. And there was rows. There was a first row, there's a second row. We were in the third row where it drops off. And then there was even boats in front of us. And this went all the way down towards the east end of the island. And then there was people on the east tip. And we're on the north side now, but there was people on the south side too, lined up all the way down. And if you talk to anybody on the coast about this, they know that.
Yeah.
I mean, 4th of July, this is the hot spot. This is where people want to be. This is where people want to come out, hang out with their family and friends. And
people say that you guys just left Nolan behind. I've seen reports of people saying that you just left him. I see reports of people saying that you asked him to get on the boat. You told him to get on the boat, he didn't. What's the truth in that?
Who is this right here? This C.R. Hines.
Oh, yeah, that's my brother. He was up here just a second ago.
So what switch up? Ask him what switch up is he talking about? Because I ain't seen no switch up yet.
You didn't hear it where he says nobody had their phone. Everybody left their phone on the boats, but everybody got their phone to take pictures and put their phone back on the boats.
That ain't no switch up. He said unless somebody wanted to. He said sometimes the girls or somebody want to get a quick picture and put it back on the boat.
If ain't nobody got their phones, then where they get all them pictures from?
He's talking about
where they get all them videos from? How they know it's a hotspot and nobody got their phones?
He said nobody's walking around in the water with their phones. He said
nobody was in the water.
Hold on. He said everybody leaves their phones on the boat.
And where
he said unless
everybody was.
He said unless they just want to get out for a second and snap pictures in the water, and then they'll put it back on the boat. That's exactly what he said.
He said they were in the boat.
What was in the boat?
Go. Can you rewind that, please?
Okay, yeah.
Corey, what did you hear?
Man, I heard they was in the boat. Well, they got out the boat, then they had the phone. They left the phones on the boat. I kind of hearing what y'all hearing.
Well, everybody, obviously he heard something different than what I heard. Because I heard him say,
I mean, 4th of July,
people not just going to be out there with their phones because they ain't trying to get their phones with.
Hang out with their family and friends. And
people say that you guys just left Nolan behind. I've seen reports of people saying that you just left him. I see reports of people saying that you asked him to get on the boat. You told him to get on the boat, he didn't. What's the truth in that?
Well,
it's barren. There's not a lot of people out here. But clearly that's not what it was on the 4th of July. So, like, how dense was it with people here?
Well, I mean, you look at
you trying to go back to the phone
spread out online. And
I thought y'all wanted to go back.
You can't believe what you see all the time online. You know, you know that better than rain. You can't see. The visibility isn't good. The water isn't clear like it was last year around this time. And, you know, like, no one has their phone, though.
Was it before this or after
this? Unless you're crazy, I'm not walking around with my phone in my hand and walking around Horn Island, you know.
How many people left the phone on the boat? Was it just his phone when y'all left, or did other people have phones on the boat?
Absolutely not. Like, there was at least, well, I rode out here on a different boat, like I told you, and I grabbed my phone when I left the Palm Beach to get on the boat with Triton. To get on the boat with Wyatt because we were having, boat issues. And when I got on the boat, there was phones everywhere on the console. Everywhere. There was everybody's phone that was sitting around the boat was on the console. Like, we had phones that we didn't even know whose they were, you know? And people just leave their phone, especially when people are drinking and, they're not in the right state of mind. A lot of people are like, oh, I'll just leave my phone and I'll get it later, and that's the way it is around here. You don't take your phone and walk around the island. There's plenty of phones on the boat and, spread out between the 3 boats that we had. And we had 20 plus people spread between our 3 boats. So of course, everybody's phone was on the boat. I never saw someone in the water that day. sitting with their phone in their hand.
Okay, yeah.
Pause it. Now, okay, now, wait a minute. Pause it. Now.
I got it.
Is kids still playing?
I know. I can't pause it. It'll shut the sound off. But I know where we stopped
Okay.
after that.
Now, has he switched up yet? Collins?
He went from saying that everybody's phone was on the boat to he don't see nobody walking around the island with their phone.
Right. That's not switching up. How's
Everybody,
switching up?
literally everybody on the island had their phone. Now let's
Wait a minute.
keep going.
Cool,
Let's keep
did
going
you
to
hear
where
us switch up?
Let's keep going to where he finished talking about the phones.
Wait a
He
minute.
ain't
Now
finished
we got. Have you heard any switch up yet? Then we can find out if there's gonna be more after this.
He ain't finished talking about the phones.
Wait a minute. We just. But so far,
Yeah,
has
they,
it
well,
switched up?
they are still talking about the phone thing. So let's see how,
All right,
how
go
this
ahead.
goes. Yeah, let's just see how it goes. Let me rewind it back.
People are like, oh, I'll just leave my phone and I'll get it later, you know? And that's the way it is around here. You know, you don't take your phone and walk around the island. You know, there's plenty of phones on the boat and, you know, spread out between the 3 boats that we had. And, I mean, we had 20 plus people on the spread
You
between
don't
our 3
take your
boats.
phone
of
and
course,
walk around the
everybody's phone was
island.
on the boat. I never saw someone in the water that day sitting with their phone in their hand, scrolling on anything or even taking pictures in the water. Yeah, someone might hop out the boat. You know, a lot of girls like to take pictures, you know, in the water. And so do guys, but, you know, girls want to take pictures in the water. Half a second, you might hop out the boat and be like, oh, I'm snapping this picture of myself of someone else. But as soon as I get back in the boat.
Okay.
Now, where's the switch up at? He said some girls might want to take a picture in the water. They'll hop out, and he said for a second, take a picture, then they put them back on the boat. Ain't that what he said? Where's the switch up?
I saw a video.
Hines, where's the switch
hold
up?
on. The whole entire statement is a lie. These kids got their phones.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
The whole entire
One thing at
statement
a
is a
time.
lie. The whole
I haven't
thing
heard
is
the
a lie.
switch up yet.
I don't see people walking around Horn Island with their phones. There are so many videos of people getting into fights and shit that's going on at Horn Island. The statement itself is a lie.
Hold on.
Girls get out and they want to take a picture in
Hold
the
on.
water, then put their phones back. But then he said the water goes from waist deep to neck deep. To neck deep.
What they got to do with talking about the phones, bro?
If the water goes from waist to neck, how you gonna take a phone with your neck in the water and shit like that?
You get to decide how far you walk off in the deep water? What are you talking about?
But the boat is in 17 foot of water. He said it's a drop off. Even when he made the call, he said we're between 17 and
If the
31
boat is
feet of
17 foot of water, how they getting off? How they getting to the sand?
Where they were parked out
Bro,
with the boats.
you reaching, bro.
How am I
You
reaching?
Bro,
Have you seen
he
a
said that
video?
they can get
Hold
in the water.
on. Did you see videos of people on Horn Island?
No.
You haven't seen no videos. How much of this case have you been paying attention to?
You talking about the videos where it's like a whole bunch of people is out there, look like they just partying and having a good time, like they all just out there.
Yes.
Because I think you said it's like 1,000 people out there.
And then all the
Probably
videos that the
1,000.
girls was posting
what
on
I'm trying to
social
figure out
media.
is-
Hold on. All
Go
the
ahead,
pictures
go
that the girls was posting on social medias before they scrubbed all their social media accounts. All the pictures that everybody else was taking on Horn Island also. So to make the statement that nobody takes their phone and walks around Horn Island is inherently false by itself.
He said that he don't know nobody that's sitting in the water up on their phone like this. He even motioned his hand. That's what he said.
He said nobody takes their phone and walk around
He
Horn
said
Island.
unless. I'm just going with what he said. He said that too. He said I don't know nobody. He said I don't know nobody just walking around here with their phones. He said I don't know. And he also said I don't know nobody that's just standing in the water, twiddling on their phone. Then
There
he
is
said,
no
he
videos
said they
of
leave their
people-
phones on. He said they usually leave their phones on the boat unless they just want to get out real quick and take a picture in the water. Then they put them back on the boat. That's what he said.
So
Now
if
that
I-
might be That might be what his friend group does.
He said nobody. He didn't say his friend group. There is nobody.
Bro,
that
that's a
walks around
figure of
Horn Island
speech.
with their-
If nobody
So-
that you mess with do that, that's what we talking about his people that he dealing with.
So I can look on YouTube and I can find hundreds of thousands
You see,
of
that's
videos.
reaching.
I'm not
That's
preaching, nigga.
reaching.
Like you're not
No,
paying
you're
attention.
reaching, bro.
You're not paying. You're taking everything that he says at face value, and it's not true. His statement is false.
You're taking for face value.
His statement is false. His statement is false. He didn't say nobody in my friend group.
You're taking it for face value.
Did he say anything? Did he say anybody in my friend group or not?
Okay.
Or he said nobody.
Cool reviews. How often do we
don't
use
need
the word?
cool reviews to back you up? The nigga never said nobody in my friend group.
He part of this, bro.
He said nobody in my friend group takes the. He didn't say that.
Let me know what I'm talking about.
He said nobody takes their phone and walk around Horn Island. If girls want to take pictures, they'll get their phone off the boat, snap a picture, and put it back. Yet I'm looking on YouTube and there's hundreds of videos with people with their phone in the water.
Let me know when I can talk.
So does nobody have their phones in the water, or does the girl that he's with not have their phone in the water? Both statements can't be true. Everybody cannot have their phone on Horn Island, but have videos of people with their phone on Horn Island. Everybody cannot have their phone in the water, but there's videos of pictures of people with their phone in the water. Both of them statements cannot be true.
You through? Can I talk?
Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
Cool reviews. How often do we use the word nobody? And we know damn well that don't mean nobody. Man, nobody ever do that. Nobody even go there no more. Damn business still open. Somebody still goes there. But we talk like that all the time. So why all of a sudden you don't want to take it for face value? Why all of a sudden when this guy used the same type of speech we use every day in the neighborhood, he lying and you can't use the speech like that?
Because every day in the neighborhood, we're not talking about a fucking murder case.
Wait a minute. I'm finna I'll let you talk.
You asked me a question, nigga.
No, I didn't ask you no question.
You literally just asked me a question.
No. I'm sorry. It was rhetorical. Now, let me finish talking. Look, it's just like if we say, man, don't nobody go there no more, right? To the club or whatever we know, the people we know normally do, right? Who we talking about? Because if the business still open, we know people still going in there, right? But we still use the terminology. You know what I'm saying, man? I don't know nobody go there no more. I don't nobody go there no more. Why? Because the people that we mess with, the people in our circles, don't go there anymore. So why all of a sudden when he used the same type of language we use in our neighborhood, it don't add up and he lying and all this kind of stuff. Because you can find somebody else on a video with their phone walking around on the beach. Come on, bro.
So
they just being disingenuous.
Was that a rhetorical question? Because you took a shot at me.
It's all rhetorical. It's all rhetorical.
So the reason why is because we're not talking about a murder investigation. We're not talking about an investigation. And then the second part is he's not from our hood. He's doing an interview.
This boy is not under murder investigation. He's talking about how they do it practically. He's talking about how they normally do it practically. That's real life, like we do.
He's doing an interview because his friend came up.
It don't matter. He's talking about the way they talk around each other. He's talking about normal life stuff. His whole point of being there, his whole point is explaining what it's like normal there. That's what he was doing, was he not?
If you get on the witness stand,
was that not what he was doing? Was he not explaining
so many rhetorical questions? You asked me so many rhetorical questions, and every time I answered, you cut me off.
This is not rhetorical. I want you to.
Well, let me answer the first one first, because I didn't even finish before you cut me off.
Go ahead.
If you get on a witness stand and you testifying under oath, and you say, well, nobody does A, B, and C, and it's found that somebody does A, B, and C, does it make that statement a lie under oath?
No.
Why doesn't it make that statement a lie under oath?
Because even the court understands that regular human beings use that terminology like that.
The court does not understand that.
Yes, they do. They do.
The court would say you're misleading.
I got on the court and say, man, no, man, I didn't think he would be at that location because nobody ever goes there anymore. Obviously, everybody know that somebody go there. You might not know them people that go there, but they understand that you mean none of the people you hang with ever go there. We understand that, bro. Why are you being disingenuous?
We're using your logic. You're being disingenuous. If you're sitting on a court stand and you're testifying under oath, and
first
you
of all,
said
wait, let's
nobody
stop right
goes
there.
there,
No,
they would
no.
say that you're misleading
gotta
because
stop.
it's obvious that the
Nope.
business is still
Nope.
open and people
Nope.
still
I
go
gotta
there. So
stop
the
you.
correct terminology
I
is
gotta
nobody
stop you,
in my
bro.
friend group does
I gotta
that.
stop you, bro.
That I know of.
He's not in court.
It don't matter, but he's giving
It
it
do matter.
because he
It
wants.
do matter.
He
It do
wants to
matter.
cover him.
It
He
do-
wants
no,
to cover
no.
himself because
he's
one
not
of his
trying to
friends.
cover himself.
Then why does he do an interview? If he don't want to cover himself, why is he doing an interview?
Officer Tatum asked him, explain to us how y'all normally do it here and how it normally was. And that's what he did. He was explaining how it normally is. That's exactly what he was doing. This is everyday real life. This ain't court.
Under your logic, he lying.
Under my logic, he's not in court.
It don't. Even if we're using your logic, he's still lying.
No, I mean that's because you're biased on this.
I'm not
You
biased.
on
The boy is
You are-
lying.
No, you are. But how you gonna say the man lying? You ain't
What's
proved that he's lying.
what's the definition? of
I still don't see no holes in this story.
What? Of course you don't.
So-
What's the definition of bias?
Yeah, Todd says
No matter what you say,
inconsistency.
you still gonna pick that side. That's bias.
That's
No
not
matter,
one
no
of
matter
the-
what
one of the
evidence you put in front of you, you still gonna go with the ride with the same side you came to the table thinking about. That's bias.
One of the commenters says inconsistencies can be proven when he states he wanted to stay on the island with a girl who was later identified as, what is it, Katie or Karen?
Katie.
And later stated he wasn't with her. So she said that was one inconsistency.
Okay, well, how can they identify the girl then? So
But hey, check this out. We gonna have to pick this up. We're gonna have to do a part 2 or pick this. We can do this on Monday. So we
still got to do this other one, this new one they got out right now.
We didn't even get to the inconsistencies in this story, in the statement on what happened between the time that they was yelling at Nolan Wells to get on the boat and the boat leaving, because don't nobody know nothing during that time. This motherfucker can tell you about the bilge pump. He can tell you about motherfuckers leaving their cell phone and how he witnessed everybody taking videos and pictures and leaving their shit on the boat. But all of a sudden they yelled at Nolan, and after they yelled at Nolan to get on the boat, don't nobody know what happened. We ain't even got to that statement yet.
Well,
I saw the interview, so I didn't see no holes in no story. The boy just told the story. He just told what happened. That was his story to what happened. I didn't see no holes.
Of course not.
Somebody, Hines said play the interview.
Hey, I wish I could, man, but I gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym.
Yeah. Well, we can pick up where we left off.
Yeah, it'll be some more. People can do a little bit more homework, and hey, you know what? We could talk about it on Monday.
All right. All right, man.
Yeah.
Carlos, go do your homework, brother.
Yeah.
You take your ass back to school. My homework. I graduated.
Welcome to the Cool Reviews. Step into the scene where the voices stay loud.